Hey, welcome back. It's Eddie from Emporium. Welcome to episode 33 of the Beyond the Booster vlog. And yeah, we're jumping straight into it. I've been testing out the TCG Automate software of late, and it's been really quite handy. And if you didn't watch last week's, it's kind of like a software for TCG, specifically bulk, but not exclusively for bulk. But I've been using it to kind of create variation listings on eBay, and then obviously my more premium listings on Shopify and integrated through eBay. That's to allow me to be able to streamline my ability to be able to list my bulk TCG rather than having to spend hours endlessly creating individual listings, paying insertion fees, and so on and so forth. So this has been quite a useful one. I've recently done that trial run with that Dandadan bulk set. It's been good. And I think what I've found now is I've got the automation sorted on the software, which is great. I think the next part for me is getting the hardware to be able to help the scanning of the automation. And what I mean by that is that you've got TCG scanners out there that will basically run through cards really quickly, and then the TCG Automate AI scanner that's there will identify and create lists for that bulk that you're kind of going through. So you can then do other things while, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 cards a minute are being scanned, put into a log, and then you upload that to TCG Automate, and then you can then list them on eBay as bulk. Right now, I'm having to manually sort out every single card into kind of areas, usually sets, and then go into TCG Automate, export variation listing by set, which means, you get a little drop down, and then obviously put in the quantity. So I've cut down about 60% of the time, but there's still a considerable amount of admin going into getting to the point where I can go into TCG Automate and get the most out of that software. Now, there is a bit of a paywall here. While the software is quite cheap, the scanner that I'm after, I suppose it's the gold standard TCG scanner that everyone uses on TCG Player, on eBay, and the various other platforms. It's called the Ricoh 8170. So this is the card scanner that I'm going to be after, and it is a bit spendy. It's about £600 to £650. And basically, people worry that, when you're scanning cards, does it go through and obviously damage the card? No, it doesn't, because you take the roller out of the middle. So it basically just shoots it through and takes a scan of the front and the back. It's really handy, especially when you've got people who want the condition of the card, the front and the back. You can't really argue because you're getting that exact card image-wise, which is also something that I'm quite keen on doing for most people, because then obviously, like myself, you know what you're buying, which is always a positive. But it's definitely going to be a future expense later down the line, because right now definitely don't have the funds for £650, but it's certainly showing that there is value there, because that's an everyday one. And also there is hidden ones here where I listed last, hidden benefits. What I kind of listed there, stress, time, availability, mental pressure, and also my ability to get through bulk. It opens up an entirely new market for me. So I am excited, and I think I'll probably prioritize this one quite high in terms of investments I'll be making for Eddie's Emporium. But that's the most significant thing from around the business at this point. I'm definitely going to explore more. It definitely doesn't mean that TCG Automate's not worth it. I'm just not getting the most out of it because I'm a bit handicapped. So it'll be nice to see where it's going. And if you do have bulk and you're wanting to sell, and it's, decent bulk and not 50 cards here and there, just drop me a message. I'll be happy to open up any chats about that, because it's good to get into it. I'm just looking forward to getting stuff and streamlining it, because it's also good for getting in reviews and brand awareness, because a lot of people will take a chance on a new account, a new buyer, for the sake of a £1 to £5 card opposed to, your really expensive cards. No matter how good my reviews are, it's just, low risk, high reward, right? So there is loads of benefits there. This month there's been quite a few. We've finally started to get the overframe cards come out of Japan, and they're going crazy, as you kind of would expect with something so new and so big in the Yu-Gi-Oh space. The Dark Magicians and stuff, they're out in the Japanese sets at the moment, and you're starting to get serialized cards and things like that come out, which is great. It's exciting to see. I think I've probably said it's not my most favorite design of like a full art overframe style card across TCGs. I think other TCGs do it better, but man, oh man, is it nice to see Yu-Gi-Oh start to kind of swing some of its weight around, artistically speaking, and from a card design perspective. And it does feel a bit more exclusively how Yu-Gi-Oh would do a full art card. So it's nice to also see that at a first time. It's not half-assed, which is really, really good. Let me grab a screen there. So, yeah, we've got obviously the overframe galore. We're going to have quite a few on this. There you go, the Limit Over collection. Mainly classic cards here. And we're having quite a few of these becoming onto the English market. I know quite a few of them listed in Japanese, but they're starting to go for quite a bit. And I'm excited to see them. I think there is some more Chibi arts coming out down the line as well, similar to the Monster Mayhem set. I've put some pre-orders in for that one. This time it's like a Chibi Dark Magician girl, I believe, and one other. I can't remember off the top of my head. But you can see here that depending on the type of rarity you got, I think this is a Prismatic Rare, Dark Magician overframe card, and your standard ones. They're doing quite well. And obviously you'll have different collectors paying different ones, and you got hype inflation. But it's looking good. It's looking really good. I want to see if we can find a serialized card here that's around the overframe thing. Let's see, serialized. Here we go. We've got a Grandmaster serial card here. I don't know if it's ever going to sell for 12,000, but it does look cool. And this could be part of the FOMO here. This could be part of my, nostalgia. There's a lot going on in these cards, but it does look very nice. But it's just nice to see Yu-Gi-Oh really try, because this could have been done 10 years ago, when the rest of that's been quite generous, when the rest of the TCG world started to explore full arts in its entirety. Do you reckon it will sell for? Let me see if there's a Grandmaster serial. Wonder if there's any that's sold on this one here. So we've got quite a few. Let's see what's happening here. So it doesn't seem like any have sold for 12 grand. There's certainly quite a few that have been sold of the other ones, but it's the same for me. Do I see me or anyone buying this off the back, especially when you've got the secondary market of Yu-Gi-Oh being the way it is? Because what we've found is they will reprint a card over and over and over again. So there's probably a lot of lack of faith that their overframe cards and their serialized nature may actually hold value in 5 to 10 years' time, because they could reprint a reprint version of the serialized card. And I suppose there's a lot of apprehension there. Now, I do think 12 to 14,000 is absolutely mad for that. I will never stay at that price, in my opinion. But it does show how apprehensive the Yu-Gi-Oh community are to collecting now. It's definitely more a player's game because of how they've treated the classics, the Dark Magicians, the original Blue Eyes, and reprinted them into oblivion, because that is the cash cow nostalgia for Yu-Gi-Oh. It has been a bit of a declining TCG. So fingers crossed they're honest with the community and they're able to retain that value in these serialized cards and really use that as a pillar to push forward the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG and get it back to where it rightfully belongs, because so many of us love Yu-Gi-Oh and have loved Yu-Gi-Oh growing up. It's a, you know, one of the key cornerstones of my childhood is my original TCG, but the lack of kind of investment to the community was one of the reasons I dropped out. So please, 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 Yu-Gi-Oh, if you're watching this, Konami, whoever, do the TCG justice, keep this going, and just do well by us. We've just had another announcement. Aura Seeker is the set trademarked for the Pokemon TCG, and that's probably going to be along the Japanese set. Sounds very Japanese. I would be quite surprised if Aura Seeker would be the English one. But I know, obviously, as we mentioned last week, you know, they're going to start trying to release simultaneous ones. Now, this is way too close for this set to be released simultaneously globally. But as you can see by here, we're probably thinking it's going to be a Lucario set around Mega Lucario Zero, one of the more recent Megas that have been announced with Legends ZA. It would be quite surprising if it was anything other than that, but maybe we're going to get a few of the kind of cool psychic types as well. Psychic types, fighting types, alongside, let me see here, if we can get a few other key areas. I can't remember this one, the Mystery of Mew. When did we have like a armored up Pokemon? I'm gonna have to go back and watch this because that's must have been, I must have missed that one. But here's some other upcoming Japanese TCGs. Got the Abyssai, which is Darkrai. 31st of July, we've got Storm and Merelda. This is going to be huge. I'm looking forward to that. 31st, you got the starter decks, and you got their October celebration collection potentially for the TCG. So it's going to be exciting. I'm interested to see what the future holds. We also have had Ninja Spinner's 83 main card sets revealed. I won't go too far into it outside of kind of like the highlights. And it's going to obviously release on the 13th of March, as I mentioned. We got their Mega Ampharos here, which looks beautiful. Kind of feels like the Pikachu in the trees from the most recent Ascended Heroes set. That is beautiful in its own right. It's nice to see that. Maybe the Pikachu's over there in that tree there. Then we have the Tauros, probably in the same areas on the plains. That's nice, very nice. I like the way that they're getting the lights of the scenes a lot more. Like, there's a lot more vibrant. It's not just of the Pokemon, but it's like a day in the life of a Pokemon. I always do like that. And we've got a few other announcements here. I think these are the new Mega Evolutions. Let me see if we can do this over here, which was quite interesting from the DLC. Got Mega Raichu Y and X, Mega Chimco, Mega Absol, Mega Staraptor, Mega Garchomp, which is huge. That could be part of the new Lucario set. Of course, you got the Mega Lucario Z, and you got the Mega Darkrai, also Mega Heatran there. Got very confusing. Bit of a lazy design here. I thought that would be a bit more cooler. Heatran would be a bit more volcano-y based. It kind of gives a furnace, which is probably what they're going for. However, it kind of gives Mega Gengar vibes, which I'm not too fond of. I feel that Mega Darkrai, I know what they were going for here. It's what's it called from Dungeons and Dragons, but it looks a bit derpy. Mega Darkrai looks a bit derpy here. You got the Mega Golurk, sorry. Again, they made him a bit more like a Centurion. Centurion, am I saying that right? From Rome, more of just a bigger, badder version of itself. Meowstic, Crabominal's quite cool. Again, it's just adding other stuff to it. Gollispod kind of looks like an alien conqueror with guns on its back. Looks cool. Nothing to shout home about. It's just evolving as a bug. Magerna. Actually, I've not seen the full version of this one here. And the original color in Steel Fairy. That's a cool one. That's actually a cool evolution. I feel that one's got a bit more to it. Got Mega Zeraora, which is a new fan favorite from the new generations. I say new generations now. It's a while back, but I like the color palette on this one. It looks a bit more amped up. Scovillain, I'm a bit surprised that this was the kind of choice for new megas. I thought they could have gone a bit more like Hydra-y, maybe different colored peppers. I know you can't have like tri-type Pokemon, but it would have made a bit more sense to just be a bit cooler. It looks like it's wearing a bit of a bow tie, but I can see that's probably a chili more than a bow tie. Glimora, again, interesting choice. It's just kind of like obviously separated. I can see where it was going with that one. With the rock and poison type, it's kind of giving psychic Pokemon energy, with the way it's like levitating and breaking the bits apart, but beggars can't be choosers. You got the Tatsugiri evolutions here. Again, these are a bit more like it just feels a bit boring. There's just nothing to say about that one. Baxicalibur, now this one looks cool here. I'm a big fan of Baxicalibur. It's probably one of my favorite ones, but I like my Dragony Pokemon, so it's quite easy for me to enjoy just a bigger Spike, Godzilla, Gaiju type Pokemon. And then you have the Zygarde and Greninja. Greninja's grown on me to an extent, but again, I feel they could have done a lot more rather than just turn him upside down and give him like a ninja star to stand on. And of course, you know, this isn't new, but I can't wait for a full art like Mega Rayquaza. He is my boy, and fingers crossed it is. I can't imagine it being anything else, but let me know. Do you think it's going to be Mega Rayquaza, or is there any other Megas that you're looking forward to or wish that you saw in these ones coming out? Because there seems to be some that were hits, and some of them just were a bit of misses. But let me know in the comment section. Well, that's it. I'm going to keep it short and sweet this week. Say short and sweet. It's been quite longer, this one. But yeah, I'm hoping you're having a lovely week. And if you're not, try and have a lovely week. You know, it's not too hard. But turn that frown upside down. And I'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.